Your boy Sprightly, 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 Sprightly.
wild miles. Ain't a chance we go out of style. Sky blue, it suits you. Reach there, I dare you to come through. In the air, we dance like we used to. Na 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 na. You're giving me a little mania. In a dash, we crash down the party. I can taste the race in your heartbeat. Na 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 na. You're giving me a little mania.
Hello, welcome to Swimmer Sync 135, Better Late Than Never. I am Shaz, joined by Jordan, and well, technical difficulties aside, we are hoping to hop right into our first match of the evening.
Yeah, 42 minutes technical delay, but honestly, this is one of the first other weeks that we've been doing Start to GG ever since we transitioned, so it's better to get through the cracks of technical errors and later down the line, so it's good that we figured this out, more or less, but yeah, we're gonna be seeing the first match, which is gonna be Noodle's Shop, SP Up, and what's the other team, chats?
Sauce or spaghetti?
What a name.
So, which side are you on, Jordan? Do you want just the sauce, or do you want the spaghetti?
No, that's a funny name and a funny name because it's a funny pickup name or pickup meme of a swimmer sink for some reason, and then there's a noodle shop as well, which is both about noodles, but honestly, I am spaghetti with sauce, whatever you shads.
See, I don't know, because I've never actually had ramen before. I know, I'm a college student, I've never had ramen. It's crazy. Had spaghetti though. But you can
So,
see teams on the screen, the rosters. We have Time, Debbie, Enya, and Sophie on sauce or spaghetti.
for
Sophie has
times,
been going nuts on the chat. They're excited.
yeah, with Time and Sophie and Debbie, well, Debbie's obviously the grillers. Time and Sophie, I feel like I remember them mostly Time from Shrimp Hazard when that was a thing, but before they disbanded. But on the side of Noodle Shop SPL, they seem like to be a natural team. There is a fellow name that shows up which is spicy, but sadly they're not playing. But everyone else, they're pretty solid from, I'm guessing, what seems to be pretty cool.
Yeah, of course, Debbie on sauce or spaghetti, hugely known for their Hydra. But of course also plays the other Splatlings as well. Boys and branched out into a couple other weapons. Not sure what the other people play, but we're going to be starting out and seeing these teams battle it out on Mommy Ruin's Blackstones first, which is going to be fun. It's a small stage, kind of hard to get out of a lockout position, and you get pushed back into your spawn. So you really want to have good special coordination here, and you want something that has pushing power. You want a crash, you want a Zuka. Booyah strikes could make it work if you combo them properly. And let's be real, it's the meta. We'll probably see a cooler from at least one of these two teams.
It's so funny that we're going straight automatically into zones because I can kind of say I am very tired of zones right now. Because if anyone watched earlier from Dapper Productions, it was their golden Panic Pool 250, which was actually only zones. And yeah, we'll go straight into the game.
Here comes teams loading in the toxic flames, going from the ballpoint, Debbie with the Hydra, so we will see a battle of the backlines, but we also see on the side, it's also split with Bamboo, Petra, and a Neil Class, kind of a funky comp there, so let's see what it does. Stop the score, ballpoint along with the over class shot. Some sort of bucket,
It's also good that also it is Bamboo and Slash and again two platforms and that's the game immediately.
Yeah, pretty much textbook how you want to play your Mommy Ruins right there.
Yeah. so because we can say something they played it perfectly and do the shot SPL, they really need to rely on special to come back in. But since they really were being really staggered and a little bit panicky in own gameplay at the first sight, they really wasn't that coordinated as much as they could be. But also game one nerves, so that could be another thing as well. But we're going to be moving on immediately to Tower Control Makeup Mart.
Yeah, so this is another lockout stage. It's possible to lock people into the spawn. Not as easy as Umami. It does take a decent amount of time to get from mid to the enemy spawn. You're not right there, you know, like you are with Umami. In terms of comp changes, probably Noodle Shop wants to invest in a bit more push-in power. With their special composition, they have the Inkjet, they have the Strike, they've got the Whale, and they've got the Reef Slider. I don't know if they were running Reef Slider in an attempt to do a Reef Slide zone cheese. Those specials, you can kind of combo off of them to push in, but it doesn't have the immediate must move out of the way like a Crab, like a Zuka would do.
It would mostly that the dueling player is playing Tetra would be changing to the regular dueling, and also the player who is playing the ballpoint. Like they had a double backline. That's the one thing to notice for notice of SPL. They had the ballpoint and they had the bamboo, so it was basically a double backline cup at that point. But it is better for tower control because it has staggered its zones that you can stay still, and also those two weapons can just point at the checkpoint itself. So it'll be really really bothersome for the side of Salsa Spaghetti to pit it through. But because they still have Devi, it's basically an equilateral for both the ballpoints at least, and then they have one extra range advantage, most likely at
Really,
least.
really, what I want to see probably Noodle Shop do, if they're going to stick with running a double anchor comp, either they can keep those two that they have. The only other thing that I would potentially do would be swapping bamboo to a pencil for the cooler. But
Uh,
really, if they have a lot of more displacement, ideally, though, you would want to drop one of the anchor weapons. Double anchor works on exactly one stage, and that stage isn't even the game, that, of course, being triggerfish zones. And even then, half the time, it doesn't work.
hmm. But
So,
yeah,
but sometimes you gotta play with who you have, and Noodle Shop just might not have people available.
and that is definitely true. They do not have people available because one of the people who isn't available did DM me. Honestly, I know the shop is available, but otherwise, let's talk about the comp now. And they actually do take your advice and they do drop the double backline, having the Hydra, having the splash, and having the thrusters and dapple. So they are going to go more active. On the side of sauce and spaghetti, they have they have it as well. They have double treasure knights.
Yeah, the double tri-strikes can be used together to put in. Again, can be a little bit difficult. Oh, that was good call on that Brioche to get the splash finding up the stack right there. You did see on the side of Sulfur to get Debbie has hopped off of backline duty, so Silky can pick up that Deco big. Debbie, of course, is going to be on the bucket, just went down too. That, I believe, is the Inkjet side. Two down on the side of Sulfur to get versus one down on the side of Noodle Shop. That's two down, but it's relatively even. Okay, now that's to be a wipeout. Of course, the members of Noodle Shop are going to respawn very quickly thanks to the double tactical that they set up next to the tower, which is an interesting thing to run on tower control especially.
It is a good start for new shop SPL going for the check rate. The double cooler is definitely good just to go back in because they know they're going to die a lot, so they just take a sacrifice to go for the win basically and try to survive the check with the most possible. But also, just to mention, as you said, but Debbie taking that backline goods. When did Debbie start playing fucking? That just came out of nowhere, really.
Yeah, they're in a great starting position too. They got the Inkjet out. This is a great position to put Inkjet out. Gets taken out by the bucket. Does get one of the teammates though, and the bucket gets cleaned up by Aloha. We do have a nice stagger going in on Noodle Top Splatoon. Don't want to do that if you have the time. You want to back up. You want to get your specials and come in together. Toxic Flame set up on that top right, nice protected position. It's going to be really hard for any of the members of Soft Force to get them there. Sausage Spaghetti, of course, does have one special online right now, that being the Tri-Juke. But so if necessary, they can use that to force their way back into mid. Looks like Kill Shot gets taken out though, so no Tri-Juke for them.
Mid push right now goes inside of South again because they again have the advantage of players and because of what that's gonna be one down again inside Noodle shot back to the other. Gosh, the down is going down, the spike going down, now the try going down once again. Every single time that Noodle actually shot back to try to get power, they always get picked up solely by South again. Always Balboa, who's on the deal on this guy goes definitely trying to sneak on his prize hunter, which is a really good strategy. Definitely understandable.
Now see Aloha going real deep in that base. Not probably going to be able to stop the Hydra from setting up on the right. Hydra though pinned down by Debbie's instead. Two other members coming out of spawn to try and help that center get one down on each side of the field. Battle of the buckets down in the drop. Debbie wins. That has to back up because of that booyah bomb though. But this is a great hold right here by Salter to get really keeping that tower by that third checkpoint. Even if they can't get to it, this 14 is an insanely safe push on Mako Mark. Usually it does not get this far.
You can kind of say that Sausage is teasing Noodle Shop SPL did not have the game, but this is showing how much pressure they can handle for Noodle Shop SPL not to let the KO, because every time we can see from Dr. Flame himself, they've been really just staying on that fight, not trying to overpressure himself, and just stay and actually pull on tower on the top itself. So basically that's helped them survive for the last minutes as us supposed to get trying to punch up as much as possible. But now it's their fault, but no, that will be definitely trying to go for this thing, and they do succeed on the head on Hydra, but they do have tools to be run pretty quickly.
Yeah, we can see the two members, including that Hydra that has unfortunately got sent back to spawn. Already set up, two down low on the side of the top. Debbie going in, manages to get one. Shadow just barely missing that first block. Mike manages to get one, gets taken out by another member of Soft or Spaghetti. Debbie hot riding on the tower for now, probably waiting to trade off with that Charger as soon as they can come in.
And with the trade off mostly too enough, but most likely they're just trying to stall once again because they know their end goal is just to survive. So South Spaghetti, but again, the 14-point deficit right now till the KO. It's really just they don't really need to do anything, but as we see for the triple against Noodle Shop SPL, they're going to be getting this, they're going to be getting KO.
Yeah, Toxic Flame forced to jump out. Aloha pinned down. Debbie looks like is by the tower, and Sylphie barely manages, it looks like. Looks like when the Tri-Saucer was jumping and doing the jumping spot, you gotta keep your feet on the tower. If you're above it, it doesn't count. And
Yeah.
if we're not on the tower, the Charger was. So even though the Charger did get splatted, it was just a brief moment where the Charger had the tower and the Tri didn't.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's how the game goes for tower. You have to get recognized by your toes on the tower to make it actually successful, not swimming on the walls. You just have to have your feet on top to make it succeed. But yeah, that's basically Sausage getting moving on to round two. And Noodles Shop SPL still have opportunities to make it either way, but the good thing is everyone gets a bracket in SOS, so for Sausage Spaghetti, they can have the possibility to go into Great White.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where these two teams are, like where they're ranked in the pool. Of course, you got to figure there are going sometimes teams that are in pools, they can be really close together. Could also be um could just be the case that Saucer Spaghetti is the first seed and Noodle Shop Splatoon is the fourth seed in their pool. I don't know.
Hmm.
But we will see a game three because it is playoff three right now.
Nope,
It isn't?
it's not. Because remember, Starter GG is not Battlefy anymore.
Right. I haven't commentated to start.gg one. So scratch that. There is no game three.
Yep. It's no game day because for right now, the reason why there is no play all day, by the way, and the choice of staff of SOS is to make the tournament quicker, which is definitely understandable and definitely really good because in times like this, with this long delay, the best of three is that's gonna make this tournament fly by. Because last time the tournament like ended really earlier actually, or like 10, 20 minutes before midnight EST, so it was pretty good responses because there was less, because there was more automation on the side of the TOs with automatically bracket progression, so that's really the good thing.
I don't know if we have our second match yet.
We don't. So it might be better to go on break.
Yeah, so we will take a very short break, and as soon as I get the next match, we will be hopping right back in. We're back with SOS 134. My name is Shaz, joined by Joryan, and we are skipping straight to round 3 on the stream because technical difficulties happened earlier.
Yeah, we are running out of time, and by now it should be going to brackets. But again, it's a good thing for everyone else is they're actually speedrunning really nicely. And oh my gosh, what?
Yeah, that's the
Shots,
name.
shots. Yeah, you see that name too, right?
Catwoman, Function of Woo. I don't know who they are, but I'll be honest. I'm probably just gonna call them Catwoman or
Basically,
whatever their IGN says.
yeah, basically on the terms of you know, uh, Splatoon is most likely might be Uru because that first Catwoman function of that part might have been on Starter GG itself. So there is a there is a chance that the first name, last name of being like that, and also the clan tag could be that. So that's why that's a thing. Like you see for Dandy and Limbo, it
Yeah.
has Dandy and Limbo. That's gonna be like the first name, last name, and also for Barrow as well, the PG. Or Paulo, I mean, on Lego Fortnite, it is the PG. That is the clan tag. But yeah, uh, Limbo right now is first in the group, and Lego Fortnite is right now. No, it's the other way around.
Flip
Limbo
them
is
around.
last
Lego
group. Yeah,
Fortnite
Lego
is
Fortnite's first.
on top. So if they win this one,
Yeah.
they're moving to Great White.
Yeah, basically compared to Metalwood. But pull up the maps though.
Yeah, so it is not actually Umami Ruins Splat Zones like it says at the bottom of the screen. We are going to be starting off Rainmaker Undertow Spillway. There we go, it's changed. Then we're going to Clan Blitz on Crab Lake Capital, and if we get to a game 3, it'll be Splat Zones on Ship Shape Cargo Company.
Yeah, so
I'll
for
be
where we
honest,
go.
I wish we were starting at the other end. Because I think Ship Shape and Crab Leg are more fun to watch than Undertow and Crab Leg. But that's just me. We are jumping straight into it. Nope, it's literally Function of Ulu with their name, so. Function, of course, running the Charger, Dandy, Neo Machine with the Trizuka, negative on the cooler wielding NZAP, and then Trizuka V-Shot on Eclipse. Meanwhile, Lego Fortnite in yellow, also having a machine, but this one is one Booyah Bomb. They have a 96 gal, I believe that's the one that's Kraken. A regular Octo Brush, so we'll see get casters, 3 down already on the side of Limbo. And then the last one being another cooler Zap. Beautiful shot from that Zuka there to take out the
I feel like I saw Function earlier actually in playing Pony too, so it actually might be really good to see them playing series as well. And definitely seeing them to play in an off in a possible progression mode as well. But we're going to see Limbo 2 down on their side, not really having fun of any progression so far to get them 2 down. Really solid for the side of like Fortnite. They again playing so much well. They didn't go like they just made a bit of a restart because they made it die at the middle.
Yeah, and sometimes when a Ranger dies in an area where it's not easy to pick up, it's better to just wait. You do see the tacticals out on both sides of the field, negative over on the left-hand side, definitely working, trying to get the Rainmaker if it comes over there. Not able to get into a good position though. Yunse is going to force them back with that concede one down on the side of Limbo that is of course negative, but Trizuka can stop coming in to take out the Rainmaker again, and Yunse is going to have to back way up.
The machine going back, but also moving on left. There might be another chance for Life Boy to be able to push it again, but all the stuff was just staying so far. The thing all comes up in one special event, that's going to be quite coming up, but that's not going to be paid off by the Korea law. So that's going to be no clue on the side of Life Boy, and that's also going to be 2 specials, 3 specials on the side of Life Boy, 2 specials instead. But ultimately, I want to do it, but no, it has to be my pub instead.
And members of Limbo got a little greedy there. You saw the Charger drop. You really don't want to do that unless it's It is hard to get angled on most of mid from that attic, but you want to stay up there where it's safer. Jeans is going to be on the top right. The Zipcaster going out to try and get the charger from setting up on top right, which they do. Here comes the cooler. Jeans is going to pick that up, 2 down on the side of Lego Fortnite. Jeans doing a little bit of party work, manages to get the Rainmaker down to 25, which is an excellent score here on this map. And the push still keeps going. Now, Negative is going to shoot down that brush, though, and one member is going to jump out. Looks like, I think that's the gal in mid. Yeah, that's the gal. And just gets shots from Negative, can't clean it up thanks to that gal RNG.
The guy on G, mostly to winning from the left, dude. Going to try to lure Negative overreaction. That's a really good goal because all the best of like Fortnite is going to be grounding this number 8 mid. And now it's going to be 2 that's going to be 3 times on the side of like a Fortnite with the sniper, the punch that we do. So that's going to be really good push actually now on the side of Limbo to push it ahead.
Yeah, they want to get back into mid. They do have the better painting comp, but 2 of them go down again, and one of them is just the Trizuka, which Leo paints a lot better than the gal on the side of Lego Fortnite. Zuka coming out, it looks like from the side of Fortnite doesn't manage to find everyone. 2 down on side of Fortnite. Now Negative, of course, getting the 4 as well, gets the third. So this is really Limbo's chance to make a good push here. They know that the last member is kind of set up in the middle. Negative's going to actually ignore the Rainmaker, rush forward, try and see if they can clear a little bit of space for their teammates. Let Lou pick up the sniper. Here comes the Kraken, not able to get the Rainmaker before that checkpoint. Does take out the sniper though.
It is funny how you said earlier that you said that Limbo was not being so greedy, but because they weren't being so greedy as Limbo like they did just now, they weren't able to put the button on the bottom because they were being so defensive. They were waiting for like wanting to push ahead against them, and that I think cost them so much. But now they've learned that no, we have to go up and say that get out the first checkpoint at least. So now that they got the first checkpoint, they have animated like they do have right now. They could go to the right side, but no, they won't. And swing to go to the left side with 1 down. Again, that's gonna be the Trizuka, not gonna be the that point down.
Yeah, Yante is just going to barely duck out of the way of that pop, playing a little risky there. Going after the machine on the other team, which was of course trying to get away from that Kraken. 1 down on the side of Limbo with 16 seconds to go. Here comes Suzuka shut down. Here comes the Tacticooler. Looks like their last 2 members of Limbo are way back in the spawn and being absolutely menaced by that Zipcaster. And Jeans is up in that Rainmaker free zone, but it's not going to matter because Limbo is just not going to get there in time.
And that's gonna be like a put its first point securely actually after a little bit of time. Again, with this map being so open and so block heavy, it makes sense why it was so many trades back and forth, but in the end like Coordinator had more aggressive power, and that's why they were able to just secure the first point right now. But going to the next one, Clambits on Crab like Central, we saw a lot of defense from Limbo and definitely from Function of Uru. So we might be seeing some good advantage here, but the only issue that we're having so far on the side of Limbo, I guess like Fortnite, is when they push up. Because there was so many opportunities for sure that Limbo had opportunities to push up, but they weren't able to really like complete on it because they were being a little bit too scared, waiting for a special to go up or waiting for a cooler to go up instead, even though they had good opportunities to just take the sacrifice.
It is a very delicate balancing act when you're playing with a sniper in your comp. How greedy do you get? And we saw in that match both times there was times where they got too greedy and got almost wiped to it, and then where, like you said, they weren't greedy enough and wasn't able to make a really strong push off of it. They definitely did have some good plays though. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do here on Crab Leg Clamblets. There's a lot more flank routes available. Not sure if they'll keep the charger. Chargers can work here. I feel like the heavies are a little bit better. You have more mobility on the grates. So if you're going to run a backline that, of course, isn't Pencil, because Pencil is king right now until it potentially gets nerfed. I won't say inevitably because look what happened with Crab. Um, feel like the mobility of the heavies and the ballpoints would work better here, but could make the charger work if necessary.
Oh yeah, by the way, patch notes next week, fellas. Because the patch note that was usually supposed to be showing up, it did not show up an hour ago, so patch note is patch notes next week, fellas. Even though people did not know, or some people knew about it. But yeah, patch notes next week. But
Yeah, we all have to live with Tacticooler for another week, guys.
honestly, Tactic Cooler is just another support. So it's a good, but that means support is not going to support gel again, like Armor did, more or less. But eh, big bubbler is still cool.
Other than like potential backline swaps, though, I
True.
really don't see anybody on either of these teams really swapping their weapons. They're all going to work decently well here. Maybe the gal, just because one of the ways into the basket is completely inaccessible to the Kraken. But, well, we see Ulu pulling out in Equator. Yunke is going to swap to Pencil. So, Machine being lost on, and of course, Faizuka being lost on the side of Lego Fortnite, while on the side of Limbo, we have the longest range backline in the game and a very slow defensive oriented top.
Yeah, you just didn't know. You didn't even remember every time there's a pencil going out. It's time to be serious. Well, we see what it's on a bunch of moves being on either. Then with the main thing, it's going to be really good for them because they have a chance to back off on the side of Limbo actually. So it's going to be huge for them, but that's going to be most likely getting it off. But we're going to see right now for the 96 got that. We're going to see on Archwatch as well. We're going to see Logic Machine as well in that. And the team, we're talking about as well on the side of either way actually. They're all just going to be fighting it in. Go see if we're going in like a point or something, but they're going to be waiting for the game to come back in because the bunch is actually in there, but the beat is not even fast.
Yeah, Pencil taking out one down on the field, two down on the side for Limbo. Here is going to respawn, and the Pencil's going to go up over onto the right-hand side. They are a little bit more exposed for the E-Leader, and the E-Leader, of course, greatly outranges them, so it's a little bit of a risky spot, but we did see earlier that they traded, so we do know that the Pencil is able to get close enough. They're waiting for that Kraken to move. The Kraken does take out the Faizuka before it can get one, and here comes a double jump to the Kraken. E-Leader manages to get both to jump, but not before those clams go in.
Now it's Kraken jump frame one, by the way, and he got double bigger than that, so that's good to get to that, but also the point pin from like Fortnite is going to be going down to 51. Maybe sub 51 as well, as that's going to be the flush taken in underneath, so that's going to be 42 points. Huge right now. That's going to be the Predator actually cutting off the shot, so that's going to be no Luka, but no particular they do still have the shot. But for right now, we're just going to see them trying to find a way to haul themselves back in and try to get close. So, mostly what's happening right now, we're going to be seeing Storm, we're going to see them getting a sword, getting a double, maybe getting a super as negative, and also actually locking up much, and there's going to be some rebound back in on my is enough to be a KO as well, as we're going to be seeing barely the shot getting cut off by someone, and I think that's going to be 25 points, there's going to be one wolf clan basically, but Swap has a clan, mostly two clans, so that's going to be good, we're going to get down to 120.
Yeah, they do manage to keep the basket open. Stomp had one plan to toss in, but it's not sure that the teammates are going to get there in time. Yeah, baskets are closed, 25 penalty points, and Stomp is not going to be able to jump out in time. That blocking team manages to get in, pulls out the Faizuka. Faizuka does not find anyone.
And yeah, again, he's just waiting. He has the Luka just made out the warning shot as we're going to see the other shot going in, actually getting cut off by, I think that's on the pencil actually, so that's going to be really good because they don't have anything to play aggro against, but mostly they don't have any cooler, they don't have any life right at all, so that's going to be a push going into the second though.
Yeah, but that push is going to get shut down almost immediately. We saw that a bomb took out two, and then the brush manages to get a third. Rocking a hard place right there. And Lego Fortnite is already in position for a counter push. They're taking down one. Here comes the high strikes. One of them definitely going for it. The Peters have really forced him out of position. Because it's great. E-Leader is down. 4 points remaining. They just need two. Here comes one, and that will be a KO.
Yep. With that KO, that's going to be a Lego Fortnite going in 2-0. And that's going to be a group stage, actually.
Yeah. So let's see. Do we have anybody else waiting to finish their round 3 match?
Most
Or
likely,
are we going to go straight into Great White round 1?
most likely, Great White round one, or we're gonna be just taking another break because, you know, if people need their time to finish the brackets, but mostly, yeah, we might be going to Great White round one. So, before we just say anything about that, we should just talk a little bit more about that in the match because, again, for Limbo and Lego Fortnite, both of those teams, with Lego Fortnite getting the 2-0, they will be going to Great White bracket, while Limbo would be going to go to the Lantern bracket. And there is two middle teams that's still alive in the bracket, which is Free Flow and Little Buddy's Kick Butt Crew, who is going to be going to the second place bracket, which is going to be Hammerhead, and then third place is going to be Mako, respectively.
Yeah, even if Limbo didn't win the match, though, Catwoman, Function of Woo Woo, though, pretty sure that they win the award for most creative name of the night.
MVP. They did win MVP as well because their sniper skills were on point. They did some really crazy snipes, so shout out to them about that. But yeah, Shads. I think it's to go and pick right.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good. Take a few
Oh
minutes, water the commentators a little bit.
yeah. Alright then.
Yeah, we are getting confirmation that we don't have a match yet. Shouldn't be too long, knock on wood. Hopefully I don't jinx things by saying that, but hey.
Yeah, we're going on break. So see you then.
We are back with Great White. Pool is partially closed. We still had a couple people finish up their matches, but the great thing about auto progression is we can jump straight in. No bracket seating required. We are going to be watching Ultrasin versus Helios.
And TLDR is Helios, a recognizable team that is a Div 3 level, and Ultrason is a pickup between Persistence and two other players that are friends of Stormy and Ichigo.
Yeah, one thing to note though, on Helios's roster, we do see somebody named Horchata. If that is the Horchata I'm thinking of, that is a former high div player who took a break from the game for a bit and just recently started playing again. If it's the one that I'm thinking of, don't quote me on that. I know that they recently tweeted out or posted out or whatever it's called on Twitter now. That they were gonna be playing the game again, and I think it is because that's a roller and that's the weapon I remember them playing. Looks like each team based on that tag might be a former member of Persistence as well.
Nope, did not form members. They are new member of Persistence actually. So, yeah. On this really scenario right now, it is town control, so obviously for the side of Helios, just blast it, we're going to see the shop, we're going to see the blast option, we're going to see them have blood, but they really get KO'd by Ultrason.
Yeah, Jollybird coming around. They've got the shot. They've got the Trizuka ready to go. It's going to be locked and loaded soon, and here it comes. Manages to get the roller. Doesn't get a second. Doesn't get a third. Well, one is better than done. Here comes the Trizuka now from Helios. And of course, the Tacticore is also, Jollybird gets one. The roller comes down, gets the Limbo one down on each side of the field. Roller has to jump out because that's not a great spot for them to be in. And it looks like we have a Kraken going on as well as a roller 3 down on the side of Helios. What? Delayed White Pinja using that bubbler. Their advantage. 2 people on the tower. 1 rushes, and it is a very, very quick 100-0 knockout in favor of Ultrason.
So he was just there, by the way. He was just there. But everyone else on the team was just killing everyone. Story was just there. So
Stormy was fulfilling every anchor weapon in tower control. Sit on a tower and nobody gets close to you.
that's the true support player right there, Story. So shout outs to my boy. But for the side of Helios though, again, there was a huge difference of aggro we saw against them, and that's honestly really crazy because who is JB in King Ja? That they might be actually plus players actually, or Syndicate players maybe, but we know now, whoever they are really good together as a duo with Ichigo, and a really good pickup so far right now in showing. But for the side of Helios, on that first map, it might be really scary for them to grasp, but maybe we can see them bounce back into game 2.
Well, doing a little bit of snooping, it looks like JB is that Jollybird is a tryout for Persistence. And well, that is one great way to really cement that you're a good fit for the team.
And the other player might just be a fun then, but damn, that is crazy. Ultrason, or aka Persistence hidden pickup, it might be showing that somebody's cooking, and the one side it might be really cool. And on the side of Helios though, again, they can play solid defense. We know them. They've been here for a while. They can bounce back. It just they need to go around how they try out against them. But
We are
yeah.
seeing in the chat, King Ja was on Grimace Shakers and 1-2 Buckle My Shoe.
Okay. Jahim is nuts then. Because 1-2 Buckle My Shoe was accompanied by NM. So that's honestly really good. Already in Grimace Shakers, they will already like get Div 2, Div 1 pick team as well.
Yeah.
So that is just crazy of a team right there.
And we do see that Sorella has swapped over to a Tentambrella. Is it the Sorella? No, it is not. It's the one with Beacons and that. It is, of course, as well. Sports scores, Rainmaker with the on the roller. So we do see roller versus roller matchup. Terrell is going to get the first victim in this match. Looks like it fell to Stormy, who's going to pick up that Rainmaker. So it's going around on the left-hand side, trying to go around and get the Rainmaker from behind. Force to trade with the shot on the other team instead. Torello pulling out with that Brella. Not able to really stop that Rainmaker from getting the first checkpoint though. They're not close to the Zac. You do see Bubble coming out, so that'll definitely allow the roller to pick the fight with the other roller despite having a huge advantage of the low ground. And here comes this Kraken. Oh, Kraken's going after that Zac.
Yeah, the roller, the Chada is just waiting for Story to come up and just put him on point, try to sneak kill him, but no, Chada's still there too, trying to knock them out as well, and they both have the right rollers, they have Bubble and they have Protocol, so they can still each other out pretty easily right now, but it's still going into the bubble, but barely missing it at the last second as Bubble explodes at the end, so that's going to be close to 23 flat, but most likely, like you say, Scissors, aka Eldritch, and I still believe they don't have, they're not over.
Yeah, this is a really hard choke point to break through on Force Rainmaker, and with 3 down on Ultrason. The last one is right there, picking a fight with that Brella. Could potentially get down for his teammates. Nope, gonna go. Back to spawn for you, and it looks like Helios is going to start making a push now. Looks like Chada's got that Rainmaker, so no roller on offense for him at the moment.
Gotta go fast, we gotta get out of Helios as he makes it all the way to the checkpoint. Still in action, and actually still putting on their Brella just to help Chada go ahead and make the jump as well. It's pretty huge for right now. Again, Chada is just waiting for the ball to play the ball to get this go, but a little bit of under aiming has caused them to actually not get killed till later. But maybe sharking up against that Stormy and stuff might have been. Oh, the shot dude, yeah, but no, Stormy down. But no, they were just literally blind Blue to make it up to 22 points.
Yeah, which is, again, a very respectable push on this map. Not good enough to break the lead that Helios has. 1 down on each side of that, and that is going to be a really hard position to pick your Rainmaker up from. Oliver is going to try and get one with that Trizuka. No, the other Trizuka is going to pull out and do a nice little Uno reverse cartoon job, going to pick up the Rainmaker from that difficult spot and try and make another push happen. It's like, here comes the bucket, another Trizuka going to take out.
The Trizuka got shots. The Trizuka got 2-for-1 special.
Oh, we love a 2-for-1 special. Buy one, get one free. It's a favorite kind of deal.
2-for-1 type of deal. We see Helios picking up the Rainmaker, and also there might be a good punch up ahead, but no, they actually kill off King John. This is going to kill off Stormy. They're going to be killing off Ishiko as well. They just need a push. They need to run all the way to the pillar to make it to lead, but no, they're just Flute was just dancing around.
Yeah, Floop really needed to just run forward there. Might have been able to get it. Instead, wasn't able to pick off the guy behind him and got Standard things off. And looks like try
but I mean, going to a minute of the clock, we still have by 6 points. That's gonna be Chada with the roller, going in with the bubble, which is most likely could try to go for the great spot maybe, and also Flip on the tries to try to go for the but also it's still gonna heal on Flip. It's still getting control of Flip, and Matt is going to put a huge on their own defense right now. We're going to see a panic pickup on the side of Helios, trying to go for the great, hopefully, or the go for the
yeah, good there on the gal. Won't have tracking for defense for a while, and now the members of the Ultra Team Extension to get a little dagger. One member is going to drop behind, try to get the Rainmaker. That was King God, not able to finish him off. Icky is going to go after her now, and here comes the vaccine. Not able to get into the magical 24th number. And Storm can grab that Rainmaker and just rush it back to mid.
Yeah, That was really unfortunate on the side of Helios. He had it right there, but just because of certain connection frames, Ultrason was able to get the bag, getting the kill off the Rainmaker. Even with the bubble in play as well, we saw two of Ultrasons inside the bubble too, so they just were ready and confirmedly just ready to go for heads on, head first. No matter what happens, we know it's going to be a sacrifice and we're going to try to go up for a win, and that's what they did. So GG's to Ultrason. They move on to the next round.
Yeah, and Helios will have another chance next week. I mean, it
Yeah,
wasn't a bad strategy that they had to try and set up the bubble at the choke point.
yeah. It's
Almost
always
worked too
unusual.
at the end. Just could have easily slipped into the 24-point mark and forced an overtime.
Hmm.
But with round
But
one done, I think that means that we're gonna be done too, Jorian.
yep, we get to go rest, we get to go sleep, all that. It's been a long day for mostly all of us. So Chaz, why not you shout out your socials, and we might be coming back next week again.
Cool. You guys can find me on Twitter/X at ShadowDragon42, guy at Shads42, and then on Twitch at Ivy_Shads, where I occasionally stream. Stream
And
schedule pending on school. Dorian, where can you be found?
Joanne too on Twitch, Joanne on YouTube, I guess, Joanne on Blue Sky, I guess, Joanne51 on Twitter, even though I might just barely use it anymore, and also on Dabble Production, streaming some stuff, and also you might be seeing us next week on SOS 136 because as you kind of been noticing, the SOS has been pretty low on comms, so that's also for low income as well. So I kind of want to do a shout out that if you're looking for commentating or looking to try to commentate for any kind of tournament or have any kind of experience, why not shout out? Why not try out IPL? There is a link in the Discord to try to sign up for comms or even DM Flash if you try to commentate below link.
It is super fun, even if you have like super horrible like social anxiety about public speaking, like moi. It's great. So definitely give it a chance. It's fun.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it for us. Yeah, good night, folks. We're going to be seeing Genie and Manfi coming up next.
everybody, welcome back to Swim or Sink. My name is Toma. I'm joined here by Manaphy as we get into round 2 of Great White Bracket here tonight. Manaphy, how are you doing?
I am doing great today. It's been kind of a long day for me, but I'm excited to be commentating here for Swim or Sink today. And we're actually going to be getting an exciting match here in Toma. It's like we talked about. You said it was Dairy Queens, and there was a couple of players that was recognized. So like, maybe you walk me through that.
Yeah, so over there we got, okay, first of all, got a shout out to my bestie Rose Arrow on there. So excited to see Rose here with us tonight, all the way in Great White. Of course, Lily from the iconic Cherry Limeade, may they rest in peace here. And, just notable players all around. You got Ori, you got Junkie over there, and Oos. All, big name players. And Pony Ztrikes, of course, too, is not a team to, be underestimated. They may be saying that they're washed, but obviously not washed enough to miss out on Great White. They're a team that time and time again has put on amazing performances throughout these tourneys, so it's no surprise to see them here in Great White tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I know Pony Strikes hasn't really been too much around to the scene, but it's actually really excited to see them back here to playing in SOS here tonight. So really happy for these guys. So personally, I would know more of Mitch because Mitch is just like one of those kind of carry players that I've known, and I've definitely watched them also in the past. So it's like throughout these tournaments they've played with Pony Strikes, they've just been really dominant for the team. And yeah, like this is like gonna be really excited because these two teams, like I said, these are just like gonna be the like a banger series that I'm gonna be watching. So our first one, we're gonna be starting off on Macomart on Splat Zones here.
Yeah, a very classic stage, of course. You think of a splat zone stage nowadays in this game, and you're probably coming up with one of two options, and that's either going to be Splat Zones Mako or Splat Zones Hagglefish. They're kind of just, the mainstays of zones nowadays, and for good reason. These maps are really well designed, and I love Mako Mart. It has so much fun terrain to work around, lots of fun options that teams can bring around here that aren't just shooters, lots of good options for buckets, for rollers, for splatanas that can really use the edges around these stacks very well. And they're going to be around there a lot. It's not tower control. You're not pushing forward, into the enemy base as hard as you need to like KO in those modes, where here in zones you can kind of just get up forward and ledge camp if your weapons allow you to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this is like the map mode that I can see like one of the examples to like once you have like the zone, it's like really easy to kind of just lock out the other team, and it's just like it's going to be a little bit hard because like they got all these three specials into their hands, and then they could just use it and then just stall for some time. And yeah, like as you said, for like different weapons as well, like there's definitely a lot of different variety of weapons too. So it's like, yeah, you said like splatanas, buckets, like rollers. Like again, these are just so many varieties of weapons you can really choose, especially just Macomart itself. It's one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Interested to see what's going to be coming out. One weapon that I feel like I can predict with some level of confidence, can be Lily on that iconic junior, which really works well here too. I think that the bubble that it can be in front of the zone and help protect it can work really well. And of course, who doesn't want to throw a double splat bomb? Like, I love that thing. It's fun to come out and be like, hey, I see you over there. There's one splat bomb to your right, one splat bomb to your left. What are you going to do? Actually, I spent my Splatana wiper in directly in between them, so no matter where you go, you're going to get splatted. It can really allow just some chip in. Really, I think the good part of it is kind of zoning people out, right? You don't want them to move to an area, you throw a splat bomb, right? It helps you control that area of movement that they're going to be going to and can really help you funnel those players into your slayers and get some kills, which Lily is just an expert at doing.
Yeah, I mean, I've already known for like, Lily being as like an aggressive support player and like an aggressive junior. So it's like if she does pull it out, like this the junior here, this will actually be very exciting because Lily, I only known them as them playing Junior. That was just how I knew them for it. I don't know what they've been playing like since their comp like days now, since 3, but again, I'm pretty excited. And you were talking about like there was just Rose, I believe. Yeah, it was Rose, and you said like they play like I believe they play Tri-Slasher as far as I remember, because I think I went up against them, I think in Syndicate once,
Yeah,
and
that sounds
that's as far
about
as I
right.
remember.
I think
Yeah,
we
and
could
there was
see a potential tri-slasher
just
niveau out there from Rose.
just nothing that like, yeah, playing just Tri-Slosher. Even I guess sometimes it was interesting to pull out like the V try. So like again, that'll be interesting. Also, I wanted to point out shout outs to, Devi, because I watched that one game they pulled out the V try. I was like, interesting V try. So like I don't know. I mean, what if Rose can like really pull that out? We'll see how it really goes. So
Al- It's always a potential option, and it's not one you see a lot nowadays. And I always find that fun. I don't know about you, but some of my favorite things is when players just like, I love to talk about what I'm predicting is going to happen. And then when people just completely turn that upside down, it just always gives me a good little bit of a chuckle. And I'm like, yeah, of course, I'm going to be completely wrong. I'm going to be out here and stream's going to be like, what is this person even talking about? Like, they got 0 of the weapons right. And, that's okay. I'm just throwing out my own stuff out here into the wind. It's not for the players. It's to just be like, hey, I think this is what's gonna happen. If I'm wrong, laugh at me. Point and laugh, Toma. Ha ha ha. But the unpredictability of a lot of this is really what makes Splatoon so interesting of a game to me. We think so many people complain, right? Meta this, meta that. Everything's so locked into a 4-shooter comp or 3 shooters and a pencil. And when you see teams that are just shaking up that formula and going with something new, I think that that's really fun.
yeah, having a 3 shooter and then pencil is like kind of like your most standard comp in like most days. Especially you would most likely will see it in some other teams like in the mid levels. As for you guys know out there to the chat, yes, I do play a little bit on the mid levels myself. So it's like the experience is just like you just see like a pencil player and or just a backline just playing pencil, and then you just got like 2 or 3 shooters no matter how much, because that's just like your most standard comp right there in the mid level.
Yeah, and it is for a reason. I'll tell you that. Speech bubble pencil player myself. That thing is don't nerf it, Splatoon. I might cry. You finally give me a backline I can play. Don't nerf it. I'm staring at you, developers. But it's really, I mean, it's good for a reason. It has so much pressure. It puts out so much ink onto the ground. And it kind of just condenses that support and backline role into one. But enough of, just yapping on. We're going to be going on to this game. We see double bucket coming out. We see a leader. There's a bucket there too. And like you only see 3 shooters here. Wow, what a game they've got set up here. Very excited to see what's going to be going.
Yeah, really what interests me more on the side of Pony Ztrikes, Murphy on the custom blaster, and I don't think you would ever see anyone that pulls out the custom blaster, and it looks like Murphy's going to do it today, but it was going to be, was it Pony Ztrikes capping the first zone, but then they got locked out, so, or am I kind of reading that right? Because I think they're different colors, so I got a little confused, but yeah, it's going to be Pony Ztrikes now, to the zone now, but it was Derek Queens that had the zone first, but now it's in the favors of Pony Ztrikes. So they got 2 members down, so the E-leader is down, so that's going to be just only the shot player left. Make that a wipeout, so now it's going to be Dairy Queens now taking the zone now, so like this is just going to be have to like what is it called? Pull out. So it's like, I don't know. It's going to be a very good lockout here. My words just don't really work here today. I'm malfunctioning.
I've been right there. There's been times I'm just jamming and can't find the words right. But it's all fine right now. Rose moving in, trying to find a pick, but unfortunately going down to that E-leader as Pony Ztrikes going to find their way back into the zone, but not before Derek Beats already has Strikes out, almost neutralized it, or got it into their favor, but Pony Ztrikes is able to recap it through that neutral state. And now we're trying to get their E-leader set up in a more forward position here, looking at that left-hand side. trying to find some picks, but not quite finding the pressure yet. Booyah Bomb coming out to help stall them out as they're going to be extending that lead, but they've got to watch out, especially as they're getting moved in on the Zuka. Sorry, finds one of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the fact that the members of Dairy Queen were able to take that E-leader down, that at least gave Dairy Queens an advantage to even get the zone back, but I don't think it's really going to be enough because the E-leader is back. And one thing I also wanted to point out, E-leader scope, which I find it like really interesting because like it's not something that you really wanted to pull off, but you know, they're wanting to pull it off here right now. So Rose does have cooler, but does go down now. So it's just gonna be once again in full control with Pony Ztrikes on getting to that penalty. So they get that penalty is over, but there's gonna be 2 members down now. So they have to really keep the zone now. But the Ealers, it's just the machine player left alive. But who's gonna take it? But it seems though Mitch was able to get a Rose there, so I don't know if it's going to be more if Mitch was able to get more picks there, but now, into the favors, Dairy Queen's still holding on.
Being able to draw or get Mitch out of there was really important. Could have caused a lot more mayhem than it did. But, you know, it's still a great effort on that side. Dairy Queens right now desperately struggling to keep that zone cap, and they're able to do so. And now they're in a great position, especially as they have Tri-Strikes online to be able to defend this zone. This could be their key to taking the lead here as we see this timer ticking down. And the lead is going to flip. The splashdown immediately going to neutralize that zone and flip it back in favor of Pony Ztrikes, so it is not a huge lead right for them.
No, it is indeed not a really good lead for Dairy Queen at the moment, but it's still like they're into the favorites though. They still have the zone for themselves, even though they did get that penalty like still. But I do want to also point out, because Mitch has been like one of those clutch players to even find those picks, and just able to do that and with this entire team and this comp that they have with Blaster, Machine, it's just like a lot of like chip damages that you can really do, and then the Blaster can just go for that direct. And as soon as they said that, so it's going to be Dairy Queens with that penalty off now. So Pony Ztrikes, they got to do something. As soon as they said that they do get it, it's going to be a minute left, Thoma, for this entire game, game 1.
Yeah, Pony Ztrikes able to buy another lease on life there, but Dairy Queen's quickly responding, has this zone back in their favor. Pony Ztrikes now has to watch out so they don't go into that deadly stagger. Not a lot of time left on that map, so they've really got to make this next push count. They've got about 1 more attempt left on it. The Booyah Bomb is online. You see bombs coming in onto the zone. The Booyah Bomb doesn't connect with the zone though, but they're still finding these picks. Lily goes down on the zone, and that is going to be the cap in the full wipeout for Pony Ztrikes. This is going to be their final chance here to make this game flip.
One last final push, Pony Ztrikes. So, and then this is going to be a little tough for Dairy Queen to fight this back, because you already see all the members of Pony Ztrikes already at the territory at the side, but they do got the strikes. It's only 19 seconds. It's going to be only just a shot player left alive now. Can the shot really hold on? But it looks like it's not going to be the case now. Dairy Queens will hold on into game 1 from a really intense battle from both sides. It looks like Dairy Queens will win it in game 1.
Gosh, what a lot of back and forth there. And, you know, I wasn't right about Lily bringing out the junior. But, you know, I did call the Rose Arrow Tri-Slosher, so there's a little bit of big brain going on there. Saw the Nouveau, really, really good choice there from them. What I'm really looking to see now happen, they're going to tower control ship shape cargo. And I think this is a map where that E-leader on the side of Pony Ztrikes could potentially get a lot more value. We see on this map that there's huge open sight lines, no matter where that E-leader is set up. If you're on the right side or the left side of the map, it can just look across all of mid. That tower rider is never really going to be safe. So they really need to make sure that A, they're protecting that leader player from anybody who's going to try to dive it and take it out. And B, that they're trying to expose whoever's riding the tower to that E-leader's line of sight. That's going to be huge takeaways here for Pony Ztrikes if they keep that similar kind of comp.
Yeah, absolutely. That will actually make more sense. And the fact that this is like one of those maps that you can have at least an acceptable like a backline weapon here. Even though we've seen like standards, I've seen like at least standards of like ballpoint. There's been some surprising picks. Like I don't know if anyone could really pull this off. Heavy edit is like kind of in my head right now, but I don't think we're gonna be seeing that though. But yeah, the E-Leader pick from the side of Pony Strikes would definitely make more sense. Not really sure what the changes are going to be because like Pony Strikes are trying to have to figure themselves out because they're this is their last match if they do lose this game.
Yeah, you mentioned Heavy Eddie. How I wish she was a better weapon. I loved that thing. I briefly recall when like 2 minutes into the patch, everybody was like, "This thing is broken. We need to nerf it." And then 2 weeks passed by, and then no one proceeded to ever play Heavy Edit ever again. Sad times. Sad times. I loved that thing. I hope it gets better. It'd be really cool. I don't expect to see it here, but I would go crazy if somebody pulled that thing out.
It would be crazy. That's why I was like, I know like a lot of top level players would at least be able to have like confidence to play Heavy Edit here, but it looks like we're not going to be seeing the E-Leader this time around. It's just going to be your standard pencil, and you got the S-Blast, which has the Burst Bomb and Booyah Bomb, which that's going to be really good for a special because you still get the Booyah Bomb. Double shot, your most standard, and it looks like it's going to be the same comp on the other side of Dairy Queen. So, and look what we're seeing here right now. It does seem Dairy Queens have more control than Pony Strikes as of now, but the cooler has been already pulled out. Strikes have already been pulled out for Dairy Queen. It's only a 1-for-1 trade. Let's see who will really win this fight because all the members of Dairy Queens are grouped up together, but they have to watch out for the Zukas because double Zuka, those could be shot out of nowhere.
They definitely can. And right now, it looks like they're trying to make their way towards the tower. Unfortunately, go down in another trade there. Neither team really able to get quite a foothold in the mid that you want to see here to get a push going. As they're just kind of fighting it out in this scrappy little fight at the moment. Mitch trying to get a cheeky Trizuka shot over that wall, but not finding one. And it looks like Dairy Queens actually might be turning this situation on its head, and now they're the ones who are going to be taking control. Ellie gets a nice pick there as Lily is now going to just kind of wait for the rest of their team to come in to move forward. And now they're in a good position to be able to clear this first shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just as I said that.
yeah. I was like, you want to see because of some of the... But, I mean, you still got Dairy Queen still holding on to this tower for as of right. They're trying to at least clear this first checkpoint, Lily, and then Rose grouping up together. Rose does go down. It's only the shot player left alive on Pony Strikes because it looked like everyone was just fighting, and it was just a 3v3, and then just only the one shot player from the Pony Strikes just left alive. Insane. I don't know if we really got a good angle of that, but that was insane.
Yeah, and got a nice pick on the goose there, but Dairy Queens was ready with those strikes to be able to defend. Pony Strikes does take the lead here, and they're able to wipe down the two of Dairy Queens as they clear that check. That's going to be huge. Now they're going to be looking to try to gain control of that upper right-hand corner as this tower approaches the second checkpoint. That's a really hard to control area, but it's vital to get in control of if you want to clear that second checkpoint. And unfortunately, their pencil going down is going to be a rough start to that. As Zeus is now trying to flush out the rest of Pony Strikes. 2 down on them. They're definitely going to have to reorganize if they want to get another push in.
Yeah, and good trade from Ooze was able to take out one of their players from Pony Strikes, so not a really good lead, for Pony Strikes as of right now. If they were able to at least get that very last checkpoint, then I think this would have at least been an easier game for them, but it looks like that's not going to be the case now, but it looks like Pony Strikes are doing a little struggle because they have 2 members down. As soon as they said that, Dairy Queen also has 2 members down. Looks like it's just going to be a fight back and forth again. Like, we already see these 2 teams, like, from last game, Roma. Like, these teams were just, like, fighting back with each other for just, like, that whole entire from game 1. But looks like we're seeing it a little bit similar to, like, game 1, so here in game 2.
Yeah, definitely, and they're gonna be holding this space really well at the moment. This Pencil just trying not to let anybody in and put down as much ink as possible. They do have one down on the Dairy Queens, but that is quickly traded as both teams really fight out this neutral game at the moment. There goes that Zuka trying to make the impact it needs. It does find one. That Pencil's gonna be a huge pick for them, as you see them already moving forward onto this, but Pony Ztrikes has a Zuka of their own, gonna be taking out Lily on the tower there.
Yeah, this is like really back and forth because like we saw one of those members of Dairy Queens were trying to get rid of the pencil player because, you know, that's really what they're kind of really struggling a little bit because like they don't really have a really good lead. They need to get through this first checkpoint and it's not really into the favors of Dairy Queens right now. And it looks like we're most likely going to be getting a game 3 if there's like some kind of miracle play from Dairy Queens. We're able to pull something off, but it looks like it's not just gonna happen yet. We only have 25 seconds left on the timer right now. It's gonna be Dairy Queens. If I were you right now, you have to make a final push and use your specials at a really good of timing right now. Time is ticking for you.
Yes, timing is really important, and unfortunately those strikes are going to be popped really early along with that Zuka too, before even Control is had at the tower just to try to flush out Pony Ztrikes, but it isn't going to work. Lily going down on that tower. Pony Ztrikes is going to take your second game, sending you into a game 3 here in quarterfinals.
This is going to be really interesting. A battle from both of these two teams now. Whoever wins will move on to the semifinals, and then one will be eliminated. This is gonna be like the first of intensity we set that we actually first commentated. So this is like really insane. What a good start, honestly. Really good start.
Yeah, this has been a really intense set, and you know the scores end up what they are, and but you know it can't describe how these games have been going. There has been like times on both of those where I thought that they were gonna flip it and it just doesn't happen. You know, anything can go and you can never count a team out until that buzzer goes. And one map where I think that you know can be even more vital is Rainmaker Humpback. This is a map where scores come really fast after that first checkpoint, and every death, every you know action really matters because you're zooming through their base, straight beelining to that platform with nothing in between you. So if you get a pick and that person can't stop you, you know, that may cost 10, 15, 20 points until the next teammate can get forward and try to throw something at you and get you going. So you really have to watch out, especially in disadvantage, to make sure you're not feeding into trying to stop a push. It may be worth letting them go just a little bit farther so you don't wipe and just lose the whole game.
Absolutely. Like these are just one of the map modes like Rainmaker to have like a really short of a checkpoint and then able to like if you're able to get at least 2 picks that's your like your moment to at least start to create that push so you can get those numbers out. So like and getting that because like this is not a map to really good like not really good to be able to defend because like if you don't have the specials or any of like you know the resources you have, you're in a lot of trouble if you don't really have any of that for if I were on the defending side.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I mean, it's kind of what Humpback feels like on almost every mode. It's it's a map that really tests your knowledge of what the game state is, when to push, when to hold back and make sure you're not just continuing a stacker. It's really important. We see Lily breaking out the iconic Junior now for this final game. And we see some switches on the side of Pony Ztrikes now too, who's going to be opting to run that double Zuka.
Yeah, not only that, we have, I believe it was Murphy that was on the splat roller, and that's like one of these maps that you could really play like really well. You got really good sharky places that you can be, just like be a little patient now. So it looks like gonna be the members of Pony Ztrikes were able to get that wipeout, so they might go for this easy first checkpoint. As soon as they said that, a commentator's curse, they do die to the bomb from Lily, I believe.
Happens to the best of us. I apologize to every team whose tournament runs I've accidentally killed by saying something great
Always
about
the
them
commentator's
at the wrong time.
curse. Always a commentator's curse.
The cooler now online for the side of Dairy Queens, but that push isn't going to go very far. Pony Ztrikes is doing an absolutely great job right now of keeping that pressure up and keeping that Rainmaker on Dairy Queen's side of mid so that they can kind of get easier access to it to try to get a push going in. But Dairy Queen's gonna be like, hey, just a second, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna be picking this up, beelining it over to that first checkpoint, trying to find it. They do find the lead, but unfortunately aren't able to break check. But with a pop that fast, we're probably gonna see a checkpoint break right here in a second. And there it goes.
Yeah, they were able to definitely get that checkpoint. At least for Murphy, that was honestly a really good up from them because like they would have had more value. Actually, Dairy Queens would have had more value if they would have gotten the checkpoint. So if Murphy wasn't there, definitely they would have gotten that free checkpoint. But still, like, not a really easy game yet because even if you do have a really big lead, still this game can really go either way. Like, let's say if you're like at 2 remaining and then you just like lose by 1 point. It's just one of like this is the map. Like this could be very critical for both teams. But again, like this is the roller can really at least try to find somebody, but like does not kill any of the members of Dairy Queens now. But it's only just left the roller left alive now. So Noma like this could be a little bit trouble because like if I were on the side of Dairy Queens, you need to watch out for the roller because I always tell so many people this. Please watch out for that roller. We need to know where they are at all times.
Yeah, and I think the best thing they can do right now is just use Lily's ability to paint. Because the roller isn't going anywhere if it doesn't have paint to slip through. And right now they're doing a pretty good job of mid of that. They're keeping it pretty yellow. But unfortunately, as soon as I say that, that Rainmaker explodes. It's going to give Pony Ztrikes some space on the map. Along with that Rainmaker pop, just shows how fast this map is going to be. And 2 down, make that 3 down here. Full wipeout. Oh my gosh, this goes the first checkpoint for Pony Ztrikes. They're going to get an easy repop here, and you're definitely going to see a lead flip. That's how fast this map changes.
Yeah, this can really go either way from both sides, and this is not really looking good for Dairy Queens right now because they got 3 members down now, and Pony Ztrikes are really rushing this in. It's only Lily left alive. Can she really save the game? Yes, she does. Yes, Lily saves the game, but only by remaining 2. I did mention this before, Thoma. Remaining of 2. It does not matter if you're in a remaining of 2. This game just really matters if you really knock out this entire game. If Dairy Queens are able to do that. Only a minute left.
Yeah, they're going to have to make a big push for it, but unfortunately going down pretty early there. That Splat Roller doing an absolutely wonderful job, and that's all it needs to do right now. Kind of play sneaky, wait around, wait for Dairy Queen to slip up, because all that pressure is on them, and they did a double there, moving in here on that podium, trying to find another, but unfortunately not going to be able to before going down. But you know what they did do? Kill a lot of time off that clock, and that's how Pony Ztrikes will easily win this, because Dairy Queens has a very limited time left to take that Rainmaker all the way across the map.
Yeah, this is going to be really rough now. Now it's like only 20 seconds left on the timer. It's going to be difficult for Dairy Queens unless there's going to be, again, a miracle play from them. Then we're not really expecting it. And it's just not really going to happen because like all the members are falling from the side of Dairy Queens, and this is just going to be game for Pony Ztrikes here. And like, but they do get the Rainmaker down, so it's gonna at least go for an overtime. They need to make this Rainmaker pop if they're able to do that, but it looks like it might not just happen because you already see Murphy already into their base, and that's just gonna be game. Rose alive, and that's gonna be game. And that will at least complete the reverse sweep. Pony Ztrikes taking this set against Dairy Queens.
Yeah, Pony Ztrikes doing an excellent job there. They were really able to hold that space and knew how to play that into that match. They were beautifully just holding mid, not letting Dairy Queens back in. They knew where to wait and waited so patiently for the right moments. And I really got to commend Murphy. Murphy was an absolute star player for that to come together.
Yeah, that that roller pick was just the right call for Pony Strikes, because like that was just something that you could really respond. Roller is just like the map, especially Humpback, just could really get a lot of value when you have a lot of control to the map, and then able to like get a pick and then just shark there. I like Murphy was able to get a lot of value out of that, getting all those picks, everything. They just had everything from like the entire of the game.
Yeah, they absolutely did. And they'll be moving on to semifinals where we will see them here in just a few minutes against Goated Pickup. Hang in with us and we will be right back.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Swim or Sink 135. And I'm here with Thoma here today. We're going to be seeing another set, which we see this one team once again. It's going to be Goated Pickup versus Pony Ztrikes again. And we saw that from last game, Thoma. Like, they were recovering from that game 1 when they lost to Dairy Queens, and now they're fighting back with fire.
Yeah, they certainly are. Goated Pickup, though, they're not. Okay, I'm gonna go fact check this before I tell a lie live on the stream. But if this is the team, I think it is. I'm gonna go ahead and go look at pool A2. Yes, this is. This is the team that pulled up a huge upset in groups, and they were able to 2-0 our second seed in range. So this is a team that has been just absolutely popping off tonight, and they have made it here for Great White for a good reason, and I definitely think they're going to put up a good fight against Pony Ztrikes.
And you know, I'm here for all the upsets here for this entire tournament. I love to see some upsets. I was really sad that we didn't really get to commentate with Duck Motif, that said, because I think there was a lot of difficulties during that beat when everybody was on break. So, but we're not gonna talk about that. So we're actually gonna be starting off on Clam Blitz, which I think this is gonna be our first game we ever commentate Clam Blitz for at least this block. So Clam Blitz on Crab Leg. Something I really want to point out for Crab Leg on Clam Blitz, the top left. Once you're in really bad position, you really need that top left, because that's going to be very critical if someone does walk up there, and that's just going to be a lot of control whoever takes it.
Yeah, you know, it's really good to break back out to the map too. This is neutral, the map, until they're in your base. Really. It's hard to get past mid and really set up a good push, but once you do, you can really hold down space in your enemy's base, so you want to really clear out that top left to give you access to high ground to be able to retake. And right now, we're going to load out and see that neutral game in action. You know, this is going to be a really interesting, probably longer and slower neutral game too, with both a Intensive and an Inkling on the other side.
Yeah, this is definitely, Crab Leg can be one of those maps, especially on Clam Blitz, can be just waste a little bit of time, but it looks like we're not going to see that. Play the long game pretty much. But I do see Bounce. Yeah. And Bounce on the 96 Deco, which, you know, as everyone likes to call it, the cheese Kraken and cheese. I don't know what I'm really saying, but you know what I'm saying. It's the Kraken and cheese. They just do this in Clam Blitz, but you know, some teams will pull it off. But a really decent lead for the side of Goated Pickup though. So this game is not entirely over because we're still in the early game. The Zuka does come out. That's going to be 2 members down on the side of the Goated Pickup. So this is an opportunity for Pony Ztrikes able to fight back and get this whole entire control. As I wanted to point out, like I said, get that top left. You need that so you can take that as an advantage for the team.
Yeah, it's going to be really huge for them, and right now they're set up in a pretty good position, but unfortunately, that shot going down could be a little bit problematic for them, especially as they drop and find one more, make that 3 actually. The splashdown gonna actually go up there though, finds some value, but it doesn't look like they're gonna be able to do too much besides save that power plant and back off right back to their own base.
Yeah, they had to really react to that. A new splashdown, people. To anyone who doesn't really know this new splashdown, kind of ish upgrade, but you know, this is at least something that you could really do for a bit of paint control movement on. But we do see the 96 Deco does have that Kraken, but does get canceled by the splashdown, just in a little bit just on a range. So it's just gonna be the pencil player left alive on the side of Goated Pickup. So again, Pony Ztrikes needs to fight back here. They do get the bubble. They got the specials that they really need to make this push, but they don't really have that much clans yet. But it looks like it's just gonna be only just a couple members left alive, I believe. Earlier plays does go down, but that's just probably just going to be the end of the push of Pony Ztrikes. Goated Pickup do hold on slightly, with just only by a point left.
Yeah, and unfortunately they lose that power clam in the process. There are 2 power clams now online on the side of Gordon Pickup. Bounce can be going in there trying to find a pass pick. They do break open the basket. Will the other power clam find its connection? Unfortunately, it looks like it will not. Bounce just adds an extra clam there. Able to drop their score down to 58, but definitely not a push to right home about. And now you're going back into that neutral game. We saw, importantly, how fast that push moved after you saw Pony Ztrikes go down, and that's the kind of speed you expect to see out of these teams here tonight. Golden Pickup really showing what they're made of, and now they're going to be fighting it out again for another opportunity to make a push. It looks like Pony Ztrikes is the first ones trying to take initiative moving forward past mid, and then ultimately, just as I say that, they're like, no, we're gonna wait a little bit, which is probably a smart move on their end.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is just like the map mode, as I want to point it out. Like, you could just play a little bit slower, but some other teams do need to react of like how you could really like make this game very critical from both sides, because like right now we only have a minute left, and it only Goated Pickup only has a slight lead now. The splash shot does come out. That's gonna be 2 members down on the side of Goated Pickup now. They do have all the power clams into the favor. They are now gonna get this lead, but it's still not enough. They need more clams to make this like a really good lead for them, or with a great knockout. But the blaster does go down. A power clam do come in with another one, so that's gonna be all the power clams now. It's gonna be 13 remaining on the side of Pony Ztrikes. What a great push from the side of Pony Ztrikes, and now 30 seconds left. Go to Pickup. This is your at least final push now. You need to make something happen if you really want to take this game 1 here.
This is a really good opportunity for them. Bounce has that cracking up. You see them going in, and you see the power clam backing in backing them to get the jump in. And the power clam does connect to the basket, but unfortunately they don't have another power clam to jump in. One does get made underneath there, but they're going to be all spotted with that giant glowing target on their back. Pony Ztrikes going to waste no time picking them off. Overtime does trigger for Golden Pickup, but now they have no specials on their side to be able to get in. And you already see Pony Ztrikes wasting no time trying to get over here, moving up. They've got their ramp ink mined up, all the protection that they could possibly need online to try to stop Pony Ztrikes, or trying to stop Golden Pickup. And unfortunately, with that wipe, Golden Pickup's fate is sealed. Pony Ztrikes gonna take game 1.
Absolutely, they do take this game 1 here. It was very slow pace from both sides, and that splashdown, I believe it was from the side of Pony Ztrikes that had it, the triple splashdown. Able to at least get 2 picks. That was like the key for Pony Ztrikes to get that push and getting all of those power clams into like Goated Pickup's basket there, and that just made them like they were just in a very comfortable spot. And now Goated Pickup in a really struggle for a match point now, because they need to win this game now, which it's going to be a little tough because both sides have been playing very good this entire set, and Splat Zone's Hacklefish is one of the maps you should be worried about.
Yeah, this is just such a, really strong map for a lot of teams. It's really solid, it's really practiced, it's been around since Splatoon 3 started. So basically every team who's going to make it to Great White here tonight has really good fundamentals on this map. They know exactly what they should be doing here to try to find success, and that makes every little interaction more important, every fight more meaningful. So they've really got to take advantage of that, make sure they're working together as a team to be able to secure that zone.
Absolutely. This is just like one of those map modes like Splat Zones. I believe one team did pull out the V Splash, and this is like a really good crab map as I would say, because like this is like something that you could really use to your advantage, having that crab, having that explo shot, and then you got the little other weapons that, like, again, this is just something that we would probably never see before, because I could definitely see the V machine come out if Mitch was able to pull that out. Also I would say different varieties too, but I would most likely like to see a crab here, because crab would definitely make more sense here, because just how you can, once you have the zone, and it's just like into your favors of like getting like all of the specials ready to go, especially your crab tank.
Yeah, the crab tank is so valuable. I mean, it's something we've seen, since the beginning of Splatoon.
Absolutely.
Maybe saw maybe a little too many of them.
Too
most
many,
people's
yeah.
liking. Kind of
We don't get
for a
to
little
see that
bit,
anymore,
but they've
though.
been resurging, and I'm honestly glad to see them back and start to creep their way back in, as opposed to just like the triple Zuka comp that we saw for a little while that was getting way too stale in my opinion.
That is a nightmare.
Yeah, as a backliner, yeah, it's a nightmare.
It'll be haunting in your dreams.
I wasn't allowed to
Unfortunate.
stand anywhere I stood, Zuka on my face.
That's
would
just
be
how
me.
backliners feel when they go up against 3 Zukas. It just feels bad, man.
Oh, absolutely. I will take a crab tank over it any day, but maybe that's my personal bias.
Oh no, absolutely. Like Crab Tank is just the special that you can also use, like just to pull up from the back. Like not only V Splash has also been played, V Dualies would also be a very good pick, but I mean, I don't know if anyone will be able to pull that out here. I don't know if I could at least read from the top of my mind. I don't even know if anyone even plays Stamper. Neo Stamper, which I call it New Vol, by the way. I call it New Vol Stamper. I don't know why it was called Neo, but I'll still call it Stamper New Vol. It does have the crab, and it also has Toxic Mix, which I had to literally think about this, Thoma. Like, when the Stamper got the crab and Toxic Mist, I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. But when I thought about it, I was like, wait, this could actually work, but we're probably not going to see that here. At least we'll see something like a crab tank here.
I wish we would see that Stamper, honestly. I wish we saw more of that thing in general.
It would
Again,
not
maybe
be as bad,
like
though.
the personal bias, because I have a teammate who plays it, so I'm like, I love it, and I'd love to see more of it. But yeah, I would have to agree with you. Probably not the kind of pick we're gonna see coming out. May just see a Splash or a Dually coming out with that crab instead. But we're gonna load in, and yeah, it looks like we're gonna see that regular Splash, the crab tank coming out on the side and go to pick up. No other crabs to be seen though. What's more interesting to me, seeing this 96 gal deco on the side of Pony Ztrikes coming out, which is just not generally considered a splat zones weapon. And Kraken is one of those specials where you pop it, you lose a lot of paint on the zone. But if you can get the kills, you can maybe make up for it. So it's kind of high risk, high reward.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not only that, I also do like the squeezer pick pulled out from the side of go to pickup. This is definitely one of these maps that you can play squeezer on, especially zones. You have the wall, and then you got the Zuka, of course. Zuka is kind of our nightmare special, but but it looks like we're only seeing Pony Ztrikes able to get the zone, but as soon as they said that, another commentator's curse again, goaded pickup able to get the zone right back at you. So far it's just gonna be some specials already been pulled out, so Pony Ztrikes able to pull out the Zuka, but not to get any sort of value on that. But they do get on the squeezer though. That is actually very huge for Pony Ztrikes though, because getting the squeezer player is definitely something very huge you can really do. Because like, if you're having a little bit of a tough time to fight against a squeezer, somebody needs to pick on it, because like it's gonna be very hard if you are struggling to fight against that squeezer.
Yeah, and right now, Squeezer is such a formidable pick. It does go down on the side of going to pick up, which is going to give Pony Ztrikes an opportunity to move back there into the zone. They see the left-hand side, unfortunately missing that snipe on, but they're going to throw out their wave breaker instead and just kind of still peek over there. With the crown tank painting over that zone, going to be making really quick work to neutralize it, but not quite finding the cap, and there finally it goes. Go to pick up, also finds 2 down, make that 3 down, make that a full wipe. They just keep going, and now they're going to push up really fast here into the base of Pony Ztrikes, trying to get set up. They already have a Zuka online too, and they're going to just try to keep that stagger going for Pony Ztrikes if they can.
Yeah, this is just the setup. They need to set up. If I were go to pick up, you need to really set up here. but they do got 2 specials. No, Pony Strikes has 2 specials. Make it 3, so the Zuga does get pulled out. The shot player does go down, but they're able to jump back to the team now. So, like, time is running out for Pony Strikes if they do want to. They do get the pencil player, though, which is very huge for the side of Pony Strikes. And the zone is very neutralized now. They should be able to cap the zone, and yes, they do. I would say getting the E-leader player, if I were to go to pickup, you need to get rid of that E-leader, because that could be very critical, because if you do get picked up by the E-leader, that's just something that you can't really play the game, because you're dealing with an E-leader.
Yeah, you know, and same thing for Pony Ztrikes. They definitely want to try to keep that pencil out of play for as long as possible. It's going to be putting down so much pain, especially if they want to keep their push alive and not have to deal with incurring penalty again. Which, speak of the devil, there it is, penalty on the side of Pony Ztrikes. And a nice pick from Bounce before jumping out is going to really help pick up in control of the zone. A splashdown comes out, is canceled, but this go off not finding anybody or capping that zone. Leaving it free for Goated Pickup to still come out here and fight, but going 2 down, they weren't able to hold it for too much longer. Pony Strikes now hoping to eat through the rest of that penalty, but they really need to move more forward, and unfortunately Mitch going down there is going to make it a little bit even harder to do so.
That was so very critical, because like that zone was just so neutral. And now it was going to be like Pony Strikes able to take that zone back, but again, this has just been a really back and forth in this game too. Like the squeezer pick, the pencil pick, the crab pick. It's just like all of these specials that you got, 2 Zukas, and then a crab and a cooler, which, you know, you can respawn with the cooler faster. This is just like something that is like a most standard comp, especially like Hagglefish zones. So it's going to be only 2 members left alive. Make that 3 now. So it's only just the splash player left alive from the side of Go to Pickup. So this is only Pony Strike's chance to win the set, to not force a game 3 here. So this is going to be a little bit harder now. They do have a Zuka from the side of Go to Pickup. They're able to get 2, so but the shot player does go down on the side of Pony Strikes. So this could be lead here for the side of Pony Strikes, and they're probably just going to win this game right now.
Yeah, that was a huge play for them to be able to take the lead. Now, Go to Pickup has to throw everything at the zone. They're going to be able to, it looks like they're going to neutralize it there. They get 3 down, but unfortunately not able to cap the zone in time. Pony Strikes gonna be moving on to Grand Finals.
That was really insane, because like, the Pony Strikes members did go down. They had 3 members, but it wasn't enough for a Go to Pickup to neutralize the zone and then cap it. It was just not enough for them. And Pony Strikes take this set and stalled as much time as they could. They win with the big knockout here, and they will move on to the Grand Finals. And that will be against a 4-shooter comp, which that will be your Grand Finals.
Yeah, 4-shooter comp, you know, the team that knocked out Duck Motif last week's runner-up, that will be coming up very, very soon. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you there in just a few. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are here at Grand Finals for SOS 135. My name is Toma, once again joined by Manaphy, and y'all just saw Pony Strikes pull up a great 2-0 win against Goated Pickup. Well, they're here. They're anything but washed, and they're ready to face Shooter Comp, the team that knocked out your top seed, Duck Motif, tonight. They're going to be battling it out to see who is going to win, who's going home victorious tonight. And Manaphy, I'm so excited for this matchup.
I'm so excited too because like there was just so many teams into this tournament, like Enrage, Sea Bunny Plush, even though they didn't even make it, like they got completely upsetted by like some other teams that we didn't really expect. So like the fact that we're seeing like of course Pony Strikes are no stranger in Great White, but I don't know too much information on Shooter Comp. So this is like something that we never really seen really before here. So again, I'm all in it for here to this grand finals.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they're going to be pulling out. And, you know, I have a sneaking suspicion that Shooter Comp may not be a Shooter Comp. I do recognize Anch on their roster from the Final Reckoning, a really, really good Wiper player. And I see in chat someone saying Blues, my E-leader goat. So yeah, there it is. That's a leader. Leader, fun fact, is not a shooter. In fact, there's 0 shooters on Shooter Comp. That's crazy.
No, that's honestly the most crazy because they only just got 1 shoot in their comp.
Oh, me when I lie and I forget that that's crazy.
Yeah, they
I'll
have
be
a
so
splash.
honest. I think both teams have 1 shooting. Listen, I'm blind. I've been up since 5 a.m.
We all been there. It's totally okay. It's kind of like we're already getting through the week, and you know we want it to be the weekend. It's all right, but here we are. It's gonna be Pony Strikes onto like the you gotta really watch out for that zip because I believe that the zip can be really scary nowadays. Because like if you're not careful and you're not aware of that zip where they are right now, you're probably in a lot of trouble if you do get splatted by them.
Yeah, you know, especially with the way the arm can just take you out by itself nowadays too. Really terrifying. You have to watch out for it. Shooter Comp trying to find a foothold there to push forward, but unfortunately not going to be able to. Murphy popping that bubble onto the tower and 3 quickly shredded. 2 are down, make that 3 down on Shooter Comp. Gonna give Pony Strikes some room to work with, but Blues picking off that tower rider very nicely for Shooter Comp. Isn't gonna quite stop the push. You know, it's definitely gonna help them get something potentially started here on defense, especially finding another great pick.
Yeah, absolutely. But Shooter Comp a little bit struggling as of right now because they have Pony Strikes right into their face because they're trying to get through the first ever checkpoint. But it seems Blues was able to get a first pick, make that another pick. So Blues again popping off with the E-leader, as you know, someone from chat saying Blues is the E-leader go or whatever. But and you already see them here right now. They were able to get 2 picks right there. That's really insane. But as soon as I said that, again, 3rd time with the commentator's curse, it's going to be only just 1 member left alive on Shooter Comp.
You
It
know,
never stops.
Sometimes I feel like the only way to stop the commentator's curse is to not have commentators, but then I would be out of job. So, you know, I don't know if that's the solution that I want to take. So, teams, you're going to have to hold an L for me. Whenever I curse you, I apologize. It's nothing personal. Understand, I'll do it to anybody and everybody.
Absolutely. And the Stamper player does go down. Mitch able to take the Stamper player, which is huge, but they did get taken out by Asan. As far as I want to pronounce it as Asan because like I'm kind of saying it like a Japanese kind of dialect they're saying it. So yeah, I'm just calling Asan. But they're still keeping it very neutral now because like Shooter Comp really taking this really very slowly right now, because as soon as they said that they do get 2 members down, so Shooter Comp need to really have this get through that first checkpoint because nobody on any side were able to get that first checkpoint.
God, they're going to be trying to fight it out there, and then they're going to be moving in, getting a nice pick there on the Mitch, looking up, trying to pick out the leader, and he's going to drop down out of position now, even if they don't die. And it's going to give Shooter Comp some really work here, but unfortunately going 2 down now. Pony Ztrikes going to find their way back in the defend.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, they still hold on. And, like, it's just like no other team is just not letting anyone, like, get through that first checkpoint because it can be very critical for, like, Hagglefish Tower just to, once you get, like, through those checkpoints, because those are just going to be very huge for you when you do get through those checkpoints. But it looks like Pony Ztrikes were able, like, to not really, because they couldn't really pull out any sort of miracle play, but they did get 2 mirrors down, and the blaster was able to jump out just in time before they were going to get splatted there. So it looks like Shooter Comp does take the lead just for a little bit now. Pony Ztrikes, you have to make something because, like, they're keeping this tower going, and they're already at this second checkpoint.
God, they're going to be getting in here. It's trying to find a pick. Does find 2 down, but it looks like that's not slowing down Shooter Comp. They can shake that checkpoint. They're going to be pushing it closer to checkpoint 3. Unfortunately, now down. And the jump out, nice to save their special there. And that's going to be good for them. A lot of space for Pony Ztrikes to go. A lot of space to take. And not a lot of time left to do it. We are going to see a potential overtime game here as they do have control of the tower right now and aren't quite threatened, but they've got a long way to push. 2 down is a good start to try to get something going. They just have to live out that crab tank and really focus on getting forward. Right now, not a lot of space in front of that tower is cleared.
This is not really good for Shooter Comp right now, but as soon as I said that, they do have 2 members down on the side of Pony Ztrikes. They need to make this push, but it looks like it's not going to happen here in this game 1. So, Shooter Comp holds on to this first game.
Yeah, they were able to, and you know, and I think that they saw, they're like, okay, Pony Ztrikes is there. I think he saw one player, I think it was Mitch, that was pretty far up in the base of Shooter Comp, but everybody else, not quite so much. So kind of focus their attention onto Mitch. They're like, we can let the tower go forward a little bit. It's not a concern yet. Pick Mitch off, and then they're like, okay, time to collapse on the tower. And they were able to just do that so well and put a stop to it.
They even know that Mitch is the clutch factor to the side of Pony Ztrikes, because, you know, Pony Ztrikes without Mitch can't really do anything much, because Mitch has been like a really clutch player. Because Pony Ztrikes, we've only commentated Pony Ztrikes, and then we got like Dairy Queens, and then go to pickup, and it's just been Pony Ztrikes. We're seeing them like the 3rd time now, Thoma. And now they're in a little bit of struggle right now, because that really made a very critical for Pony Ztrikes to hurt, because they did lose game 1 here. But we'll see how anything really makes a change here, which we will be getting and moving on to game 2 with Scorch Gorge on Rainmaker.
Yeah, and I think right now at the point, it's important to remember kind of the pace of how a tournament goes. And Shooter Comp has kind of been sitting here at Grams waiting for a match for a while. So they've had time to kind of cool down. They've had time to shake things off, let the nerves out, and prepare mentally for this. On the other hand, you've got Pony Ztrikes, who was able to claim that 2-1 victory last round, be able to come back, but they have been going non-stop since our 2-0 victory. Sorry, let me not count that. It was 2-1 against Dairy Queen. We've been watching Pony Ztrikes for a while, guys. So we have been with them this whole time, basically through the rocket run.
We literally been with them.
And
yeah,
they haven't had a break. We kept them going. So they haven't been like Shooter Comp, who's had a break to kind of refocus. Their stamina is definitely probably going to be in a lower spot right now than Shooters is.
Never really count them out just yet, because Pony Ztrikes are one of those teams. Like, you already saw when they were losing they only lost 1 game against Dairy Queens. That is something that they could also do. You know, you remember saying, you got to shake things off, keep the cool, we could still win the game, it's still winnable. anything could really happen. So, you know, Pony Strengths is definitely not the team that would give up here. So, we're going to be seeing a different side of comp as of we're seeing here for Pony Strikes. So, we got a Custom Blaster and the 96 Dicko once again pulled out again.
Yeah, we're going to be going in there and trying to get an early lead onto this Rainmaker, potentially, as Pony Strikes is just putting down a lot of paint control in mid, making sure that that's well under their belt before they move forward. But, you know, while they waited, it just left opportunity for Shooter Comp to walk in there. That Slosher trying to cause some chaos, and the Kraken up there painting a path, but not really able to find much value off of that. Does catch one at its very tail end. The Pony Strikes haven't really picked up any space on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Pony Strikes are a little bit worried about the E-Leader player because they did get 2 members down, but it wasn't the E-Leader that was able to go down there. But usually you see the Stamper player already getting a pick off on one of the members, and that's going to be just the E-Leader player left alive. So this might be just an easy free checkpoint for Shooter Comp now.
Yeah, you saw them wait that out perfectly. They waited until they had that nice 2 to 3 down, and then they just ran with it, and they've been able to keep that man advantage for a while. The Kraken moving in there, trying to find the Rainmaker, but Blue is dipping and dodging. They're able to work it down to 33, but you can already see that they're just not wanting to give up space. Shooter Comp is still there, and finally goes down. You also got Pikachu up there, trying to get a nice pick, but unfortunately going down. And now it's finally time for Pony Strikes to work their way back out in mid, but Mitch has to be careful while taking on that 2v1 situation. Definitely probably wants to wait for a little bit of backup, just hold that Zuka out and buy some time for themselves.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is also going to be very critical for most teams as of right now because, you know, Shooter Comp is in a really comfortable, I wouldn't say really comfortable, but they're in a comfortable spot right now because 33, not really bad for a lead, but anything can really happen, especially, like, I've seen anything can really happen in Scorch Rainmaker, and, you know, not a lot of people don't even like this map in general, but this is at least one of these modes that is playable here, so, again, don't really underestimate Pony Strikes just yet because they can still hold on. Something that they have to really make is some kind of miracle play. Getting the Stamper player is a little bit something that into their favors. Blues has to get out of there because they don't want to get picked off by that Zuka here. So they do just that. Mitch here trying to at least find something kind of valuable to like use. So the Kraken does go out. Nothing has really happened too much, but I thought Pony Strikes had the Rainmaker, but no, Shooter Comp just says like, you know what, I'm gonna take some time off and then just like stall a little bit of time and just take the Rainmaker.
Yeah, they are going to be taking that, and now they're going to be just getting as much space as possible, and unfortunately the Crab Tank on Anthony getting a hit onto them, 2 down now on the side of Pony Strikes. The Rainmaker is going to reset for Shooter Comp, left a lot of space to be able to take forward, but Mitch is going to make sure that they do something about that. Going to be holding down that ramp, not allowing for Shooter Comp to advance into Pony Strikes territories. You see a lot of Ink now trading down here in the Zuka, trying to find a target. Unfortunately, though, not finding anyone.
Yeah, Shooter Comp, they're like, as far as we're like looking at this team right now of how they are playing, like as a team and playing together, this is like all the members have just been really very patient in just how they can really make a good setup on how they can really commit to the fights and then really able to defend. And nice little shot from the E-Leader player, taking out the E-Leader player from Pony Strikes. So no, excuse me, that was a Shooter Comp like opposite. So but there's still a little bit of time left though, because Pony Strikes need to get that first checkpoint because need to really pull this off here because I'm kind of losing my mind right now.
Yeah, no, I feel ya. It's gonna be really vital if they try to find that before overtime starts, because you don't want to drop the Rainmaker in the middle of your push during overtime. You prefer to keep it going. That right now they're just not really able to get the space that they need to do it, especially with Ant finding a pick there on to their 52. This would be huge for them to keep things space in mid and not letting Pony Strikes forward. There is your overtime timer going off. And now they're going to be pulling in, but they've got to watch behind them for that zip caster. They're going to be coming in, forcing back the members of Pony Strikes, even just buying them a little bit of time for the rest of their team to respawn and come back in for that defense. Still definitely possible here, but they're going to have to play it really well.
They have to, and like the overtime timer is not really gonna be enough time left because they're really struggling to get like any of the members from 4-shooter comp. But as soon as they said that, that is gonna be delayed 3 members down. They have to get through this first checkpoint. They need to make this play happen right now because they got that checkpoint. This is the moment for Pony Strikes to make this lead. They got some specials up for themselves. As soon as I said that, that's gonna be 3 members down left, and that's going to be 4-shooter comp holding on to this game, and they're going to be on match point now, and that's going to be 1 game away for 4-shooter comp.
Yeah, just unfortunate for them there. Like I said, you don't really want to find yourself in that situation where you have to drop the Rainmaker and repop in the middle of your overtime push, because once you drop that thing, it's just free game for the enemy team to sit there and throw every single thing that they have at it to stop you from either popping or from being able to pick it up after it's popped. And that's exactly what 4-shooter comp did. They didn't feel the need to rush in. They're like, the Rainmaker's on the ground. Great, we can rest easy now. And they're just spam bombs, throw all the range you've got at it, and it's just GG's from there.
It just was a little bit hard for Pony Strikes. Even though they got that checkpoint, that's going to be a very, very hard challenge to fight all like the members of 4-shooter comp just waiting for you at waiting for them to like go into their base, and then getting 2 members down from the 4-shooter comp, getting 2 members down on the side of Pony Strikes just really save them so they don't get like lose lead like that in overtime. And I also want to mention that Zipcast was very scary because you know how much pressure, Pony Strikes are right now. They're in a lot of pressure right now, and this is not really working well for Pony Strikes. If there's at least some kind of miracle again, they need to do the impossible, which is winning a reverse sweep here. And we're going to be going straight to game 3 in Calamblitz Inkblot Art Academy.
Yeah, and this is a pretty, common map. We've seen it a lot since the Splatoon 2 days, and it's gonna be a fun one for sure. And I'm interested to see how the double leaders are gonna play out. I don't foresee us switching off of that. They seem pretty comfortable in those picks, but it's one of those modes where, I mean, unlike Rainmaker, where you've got to have somebody grab that rain eventually, and it's always going to be your back line, so bringing leader isn't always the biggest hindrance as much as people would make it out to be. Calamblitz gets a little bit more difficult. You really want to push that back line further up. They're not going to have that supercharged weapon that is the objective, so they're generally also not going to be your scorers. And they'll have maybe some clam reserves that they'll throw in on a wipe, but they're going to be positioned, closer to mid, trying to hold down space. And actually, we're not going to see the double leader at all. We're going to see a pencil coming out from Pony Strikes that can give them some much needed paint onto this map.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you see Murphy on the roller here, which that has been a really clutch factor for them as far we saw them. I forgot which set it was. I believe it was against Dairy Queens, I believe. And they got so many kills with this roller, and I hope that's something we can probably see again, because like they were really popping off with the roller.
Yeah, they definitely were. Right now, it looks like they're just kind of trying to shark around, look for an opening, be able to move in on Fortnite top. On the right-hand side, they do see this crab tank. They are going to be able to trade it out. Anch going down there for the roller's life. Roller is going to be coming back. Already has that special online. Thank you, Cooler. And now the Zipcaster coming in to try to push Pony Strikes back is going to be taken out as well. Definitely not seeing that same kind of commanding presence from Fortnite top that we've seen in the past few games.
Absolutely. Like this, so far we're seeing it kind of really slow from both sides as of now, because one's trying to like find the most valuable pick, especially like you really want to watch out for like the Stamper, because like I think that's been very critical for Pony Strikes, because like how the Stamper was able to get so much valuable for shooter comp, just like getting all those picks and then just getting everything that they need to, like, you know, have at least an extended lead for them. So again, right now we're just kind of really watching the slow game as of right now. So we don't know really what's going to be happening to both teams, but we do see like a trade going off by the roller and the tri-slosher, but you don't really want to have a trade like that, because like I don't think that will be worth to have, because like the roller needs to stay alive, because like if you could at least get those valuable picks and getting like 3, that's just insane, and then you could really start your push.
Yeah, both teams right now are really struggling, I feel like, to find those super clean picks. Trades have been going back and forth, back and forth. We've seen specials online. But we're almost halfway through this game and haven't seen a score yet, but this is where it could potentially change with that Zuka. We are going to see Pony Strikes pushing forward, looking to make their entry there. There goes that power climb, but unfortunately not going to connect with the basket. Maybe pick back up. There is the connection. That's going to be your first push of the game, but it looks like that's going to be all she wrote to it. There's not going to be any additional score, just down to 80. So all shooter comp needs to do here is a power clam and 1 extra clam to be able to take the lead. Definitely not much, but they have to be able to break through Pony Strike's defense, which shows no sign of relenting, as it's just lose left on line right now for shooter comp. And there goes another score.
Yeah. Pony Strikes didn't really have like any members or sort of resources of clams that they needed for the push, but as of for the second push that they had, they get all the clams that they need and open the basket again. Murphy was able to, like, trying to at least find something, but they weren't able to find anything. Zuka does pulled out by one of the members, so they do go down. So for shooter comp, still not really struggling. So like they're in like a really kind of bad spot right now. They need to find those valuable picks. They do get on Mitch, which has been a really clutch factor. They do make the jump here, so this could be maybe an extended lead for them, but not just yet, because like they still need another power climb in order to get them lead here.
Yeah, unfortunately isn't going to be able to be found in time. That power clam going down in the Itch's hands there on the side, but there is still plenty of time left for them to do it. A minute left in this game. They do need to get a power clam left online, as they took their own pitch clam and aren't going to have that on board for overtime. And Pony Strike's going to make that hard as they're trying to contest mid here. The Booyah Bomb going to be coming out, going on to shooter comp's flat, going to try to force them back as they're spotted out here on the side, having dropped 1 down on both sides. You see those trades going out, which right now are only going to benefit Pony Strikes, who has that lead. If you're on shooter comp now, you're really feeling the pressure to find those clean picks.
And they do have like 3 specials online. Caster does get popped, Crab does get popped, and it looks like the pencil player does go down. That's gonna be huge. And that's just only, there's like been a big fight going on for this last 20 seconds, and it's just believe it was only like the shot player left alive from the side of Pony Strikes, but they're not able to find a push from 4 shooter comp. They were just not finding any sort of clamps to like start a push here. And it looks like they're going to be really struggling right now, because they have only 2 members down, make that a delayed 3 down now. So there's a lot of pressure now, Thoma, for the side of 4 shooter comp, because it's all for the pressure, because we're most likely going to get a game 4 here.
Pikachu going in there for that clam dunk. It does connect. They need to be able to find some more clams. Just the leader left up on the line, though. I don't think that they're going to be able to sneak their way in. There they are, splatted, and we are going to be going to a game 4.
That was kawaii. Oh, kawaii means scary. That was a very scary moment for the side of Pony Strikes. They're at least able to hold on and then putting themselves into a game 4 here. That was just scary. Like, that was scary for them, because like once 4 shooter comp had that basket open, 4 shooter comp needed a little bit of more clams to like take that lead, and that would have been at least a clean sweep for the side of 4 shooter comp. But that's not going to be happening tonight, because Pony Strike's still holding on. They can still up to their pace here, so they're not giving up just yet. And Thelma, this is like probably one of the common map modes that we've been seeing in some tournaments now, after the little bit of a rework onto this map, we're going to Mahi Mahi Resort on Splat Zones.
Yeah, and this will be a fun one for sure. And this Mahi is such a strange case to me because, and so as a low-level player, generally within low-level, Mahi has been a hated map. People don't like it. No one wants to play it. And then we get told from, players like Pro Chara that we're like, nah, this is like one of the best maps in the game, and all of top level says so. And so I see top level players battle it out on Mahi, and then I swear, they always pull out like the craziest, most insane stuff that like my little brain would never be able to comprehend actually being able to do in my matches. And I think this is such a fun map to see high level gameplay on.
Oh no, absolutely. Like I've definitely played Mahi Mahi on Splat Zones, a little bit on Clan Blitz too, because I think it's not as bad. But I know Splat Zones Mahi Mahi has been like the kind of like the factor to this map that it's been more viable now since like the rework has gotten. So as you said before, like yeah, top level like teams and players would play this map. Like I've seen crazier like map modes that top level players would play. So like I've seen crazier ones. So like this is something that nothing that too crazy you would see. So if we're able to see like something else that we've never seen before, like mincemeat zones, I think that's more crazy that they would, if that's ever in a map mode tournament, which that'll probably never happen.
If that isn't a map list, I'll tell you. First of all, I want to commentate it. So sign me up. If you put mincemeat into your tournament, I will commentate that thing. But remind me never to play it. Remind me like, hey, never sign up for your tournament. Like,
yeah, literally, yeah. But it looks like we're seeing some similar sides. 4-shooter comp does have a stamper down, and that's gonna be a trade-off. So Pony Ztrikes have 2 members down, so it's just gonna be a big fight at the very beginning of the start of this match. But it was able, like Pony Ztrikes were able to get that first zone, but in the return, 4-shooter comp does get that zone right back.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job of trying to pick off Pony Ztrikes here, but the Booyah Bomb is going to come out and give Pony Ztrikes some space to work with. You can see that Mitch is moving in there, and the splashdown finds its target on the zone, will be able to flip it, but as soon as I say that, Shooter Comp takes it right back. They've already got 2 down onto the side of Pony Ztrikes, and moving forward super aggressively and finding a nice pick there from Shooter Comp as well. This is the kind of aggression we usually see for. We're going to be setting up one here on the side, potentially with this grab tank ready to come out anytime soon. And maybe coming out of this, map is going to start changing its layout. There's that crab tank. The slosher moving in there too. They're actually going to
that is unfortunate.
Up the map, Manatee. And this is starting to look really bad for Pony Ztrikes.
Unfortunately, they just went for a swim there. Unlucky. It's going to be, like, Mahi Zones is just one of those maps get like really hard to get back, so like time is really ticking. Pony Ztrikes need to make this like a clutch play, and they do it just that, Thoma. They keep this game alive holding on. So that is going to be a big penalty for 4-shooter comp now, and they're not done just yet. I want to see an impossible game 5 here if Pony Ztrikes can hold on. And it's just going to be very hard now because, like, one, you got the slosher that has cooler, and then you got the crab E-leader, and then stamper. Just those weapons can be very critical for, like, the side of Pony Ztrikes. You need to get those members out of there. So, like, that's just, like, your kind of win condition. Just find where they are, and then you should be able to pick them off with, like, the rest of the team. It's just going to be your kind of gameplay like that.
Yeah, that's what they're definitely going to try to do, but, Shooter Comp has been wasting no time on these retakes. Pick-to-Chew there with the zip cast, we're ready to go, looking to see if they can find anybody with it. Moving in there onto the leader, but not going to be able to pick them before recalling, but it does buy them a little more time. About halfway through their penalty now, but the Zuka comes out from Pony Ztrikes to find their way in, does find that stamper, and is going to be looking at Anch now, too, forcing them off that block and forcing them back. The Booyah Bomb comes out, and this is going to be their final chance here to really be able to flip this zone as we're counting down. Penalty is over. There is the neutral zone. They need to be able to cap it. But for Shooter Cop, just holding on to this for as long as they can. It flips back, and that is going to be your tournament for Shooter Comp. Going to be walking away from this 3-1 as your winners of SOS 135.
It just was not even close for Pony Ztrikes able to fight back. They had a little bit of fight backs, but it just wasn't enough for Pony Ztrikes to able to fight back at 4-Shooter Comp. 4-Shooter Comp just was very comfortable in every single positions that they were in for like this entire set here. Like, and we already saw them in game 4, just how they were in a really good spot, getting all that control of mid, and then just keep them out of mid too. It's just very like perfect game that they've had like this entire set here.
Yeah, they definitely, showed what they're, what they came to win, and they showed that they're super duper capable of doing that. They knocked out some big names tonight in this tournament, and Pony Ztrikes showed us that they are anything but washed, despite what they want to say on the internet. It sounds like they might be fibbing a little bit. I can't blame them. I like to tell lies on the internet sometimes. I think it's a little silly and goofy, and I think that might be their right to do so. But that being said, congratulations once again for 4-Shooter Comp. They are going to be your SOS 135 champions. And before we sign off, Manaphy, tell me, where can all these wonderful listeners out here find you?
Oh, well, you can find me I'm never really usually on Twitter as much, but you can still find me. I believe it's Manavi-chan, and you can also find me through streaming as well, which I do a little bit of some content on Splatoon a little bit as of right now. You can find me on Manafi-sama on Twitch as well. So don't really stream as much, but I at least stream on like whenever I can. So how about you, Thoma? Where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Crest of Gautier on Twitter or ttoma_ here at twitch.tv. Once again, congratulations. Huge thank you to our streamer, Ren, here tonight for putting on this awesome stream for everybody to see. Thank you, Manaphy, for being here with me. And thanks to all of our staff that made SOS possible tonight. And we will all see you in SOS 136 next week.